Do you know that there is a village in Tamil Nadu where menstruating women are thrown out of village precincts on those days?
Urbans, in educated families, the women they are told that don't do this, don't do that.
When I was growing up, any kind of products like sanitary napkins or had to be in those awful black packets, black plastic packets, or some kind of newspaper, and there was so much of shame attached to something which was so biological. Almost 60% of adolescent girls drop out of school because of menstruation because they don't have access, perhaps. Maybe there's no lack of affordability.
We push more of sustainability. So we are pushing menstrual cups, which is far affordable than a sanitary napkin, can be used for 5 years.
Why don't we also talk about men's personal hygiene?
It's time that uh, men should also take care of their personal hygiene.
Our guest today is Vikas Bagaria. He is the founder of Be Safe. Hello and welcome to What India Needs podcast with me, Shutapa Paul. Do you know that there is a village in Tamil Nadu where menstruating women are thrown out of village precincts on those days? Superstition, social taboos, and discomfort governs the topic of personal hygiene, especially female hygiene. Our guest today is Vikas Bagaria. He is the founder of Be Safe, and Vikas started speaking openly and publicly about personal hygiene and allied products long before it became trendy. Vikas, thank you for joining us on What India Needs podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So this is a very interesting topic. It's also, when we talk about personal hygiene, especially female hygiene, there is a lot of social taboos associated with it. And in the introduction that I was doing, I was talking about this village in Tamil Nadu where women are still asked to leave the village boundaries when they are menstruating. How do we kind of approach this issue of social taboo around personal hygiene?
See, in India, it's such a difficult topic to start with or to even to have a discussion, even not only in the rural area, but in urbans, in educated families. The women are not, they are told that don't do this, don't do that, don't go to the kitchen. I think it all started many centuries back that you have to give rest to women when they are menstruating.
Yeah.
I think वो चीज़ आगे जाते जाते I think they have become a stigma ki, and they gave a religion angle to that.
Yeah.
Ki you should not do this or you should not touch or do pujas. I think it's a very difficult when it goes to the tier 3 and tier 4. But what we have been seeing, I have been doing this discussion on menstruation for last 10 years now, 7 years in PSAFE as a company. I can see a lot the Gen Zs, the millennials have started talking about it very loudly. And compared to 2017, when I started PSAFE as a company, and now there's a sea change. There's so many of them, and I think it gonna take time. I think the penetration was around 20% of period care product in 2017. Now it's close to 40%, 45%. I think it will take time, but a couple of decades. But I think we'll reach there for sure.
Absolutely. I think I remember when I was growing up, any kind of products like sanitary napkins or had to be in those awful black packets, black plastic packets, or some kind of newspaper. And there was so much of shame attached to something which was so biological, even in educated families. The idea of having it mainstream and discussing it like any other bodily uh, phenomenon or function that happens was barely there. So I can understand that if we felt it in urban India, in educated circles, what happens in tier 2, tier 3 rural India. And some of the stats that we have is almost 60% of adolescent girls drop out of school because of menstruation, because they don't have access, perhaps. Maybe there's no lack of affordability. What has been your experience in this? Because education is very closely linked to this topic as well.
No, absolutely. That's unfortunate in India that during in tier 3 and 4 or the rural areas when they reach a puberty age, they drop off of the school. The reason being that we don't have running water in the washroom in the schools. If we don't even have toilets there, then again in families they think that is a disease. They should not go and mix with other people.
Yeah.
I think those are the stigmas which was attached to it. But the figure was 72 to 75%. I think during 2019 or 2020. I think now it's 60%. It means that we are improving. So I can only look to the positive side, that so many people are coming forward and trying to break the taboo. Uh, of course, when I was growing, same, just like you, I never knew that when my sisters was on periods, or and they used to always carry this black polythene, and
Yeah.
they used to hide. I think there's a seaside change in people my age as well, that we have started talking very, very openly.
Yeah, and I think this change was long coming. I mean, urban India, of course, has moved quicker. Rural India will take time because perceptions are so
Hmm.
difficult to break down. There is religion, of course, there's social, and obviously gender taboos. Women don't get as much say in talking so openly about it. So somewhere when we talk about awareness, films and I think Hindi movies have done a great job when it comes to, at least certain Hindi speaking belts. Some of the films that have come, you all have also supported one of them. How do you think awareness and education of people should be carried out as a campaign?
No, I think you are right. Anything which is in mass, anything which can reach to the maximum population in India, with the likes of Akshay Kumar talking about the sanitary napkin uses in each and every movies across India at the start of the movie, about sanitary napkin uses, or for that matter, the movie Padman,
Hmm.
or for that matter, the Prime Minister of a country in 2020, from his Independence Day speech from Red Fort, talking about sanitary napkins. I think these things will definitely make people aware, and just want to change. But I think awareness, anything which comes in mass, that helps. State governments, I see many state governments have started distributing free sanitary napkins, making people more aware of it. Affordability will come second, but I think more is that you should accept that there are products which can help you, bleed well and bleed fine. I
Yeah.
think that's more important. I have also seen that many youngsters, they are going out in urban poor as well. It's not the problem of only rural area. In
Yeah.
urban poor as well, nobody talks about it. We have, as a PSAFE company, we have ran campaign called Men Buy Pads. So we were actually going after men, the fathers, the brothers, and the sons, to talk openly about periods within their family, and buy a menstrual care products and give it to their mom, sister, or wife, for that matter. I think that needs to come out, and then only we'll see that stigma, and things will go down. And lastly, I also want to mention that last year Supreme Court of India came out and say that menstrual hygiene, or menstruation, is not a disease.
Yeah.
It's a biological phenomena which should be respected, and everyone has that right to bleed, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah. I mean, I find, I mean, the dichotomy in our country always fascinates me because it at times inspires us because there's so much of innovation and there are brilliant minds and people doing great things across all levels. And then we still need like a Supreme Court, the apex court, to pass a verdict or give a judgment or give the statement as recent as last
Yeah.
year to say something which is the most normal thing. I mean, we have to literally spell it out
Mm.
when it comes to us. So it always fascinates me. But again, progress is happening,
Yeah.
as you said. And government programs, Swachh Bharat, of course, so that there are more toilets, better sanitation, and Ujjwala sanitary napkin. I think this is a program by which free sanitary napkins are being given.
Absolutely.
Um, have you seen good results of these campaigns? Do you think more needs to be done? Is there anything that y'all are getting as an industry? Are you hearing any feedback?
No, I think government is trying their best, but they are coming in the bottom of the pyramid. They are just giving a normal sanitary pads, which the menstruator can replace their dirty cloth pad and can get the feel and that how a period care product looks like. Apart from that, there are many NGOs who get funding from the corporate CSR initiative, and we work with them. And instead of a disposable a period sanitary pads, we actually push a reusable sanitary pads which can be used for 12 months, 60 washes, so that uh, see, when you go and distribute or the government distribute a disposable pad, they'll do it for a month or a two or a quarter, but then they stop coming to that particular area, and the women are not getting the pads again, and they go back to the old dirty cloths or the other means of using unhygienic period care products. So if we focus and push reusable sanitary pads, at
Right.
least for that 12 months, they get used to it. And once these women, these menstruators are used to a good quality reusable pads, I think the adaptation will come more faster.
Right.
So we as an industry, if you say ask PSAFE particularly, we push more of sustainability.
Hmm.
So we are pushing menstrual cups, which is far affordable than a sanitary napkin, can be used for 5 years. It's not, it doesn't go and ends up in a landfill,
Yeah.
right? While wearing a menstrual cup, you can pee, poop, and swim. Once you get habituated of menstrual cup, you don't will feel that you are on your periods. So these things, with the help of n number of NGOs, we are doing our bit by educating people and making sure that these products are available across.
Absolutely. I mean, sustainability is such an important aspect. And, I know that many of us, women also, we need to break our own mental perceptions about some of the products which are reusable because, it does take getting used to. Right, I mean it's a new thing, but at the same time, I mean India has about 366 355 million menstruating
Menstruators, yeah.
women right now. So I mean the amount of waste that is being pushed back into the earth is serious. So I'm so glad to hear that you all are pushing sustainability, and I think it's very rewarding because it's good for the women who can't afford it because they are able to cut down costs, right? Because nowadays some of the products are extremely expensive.
No, I don't think so. If you compare, let me ask you a question here. 3,000 rupees for 14 cycles, 12 months in a year, and I'm not talking affordability at a rural area or a tier three and tier four, but in urban tier one, tier two, tier three cities,
That's fine.
3,000 rupees, and I'm offering a biodegradable pads, 100% cotton, organic cotton, and you can use it for your entire 12-month cycle.
Some of the larger players, well, what I meant is some of the larger players, the prices are extreme even now.
No, so we are expensive. I think 3,000 rupees is the most expensive 12 months period sanitary pads I'm talking about because it's a biodegradable. But if you see the global MNCs, they are lower. They are around 1,500 rupees or 2,000 rupees. But I'm talking about sustainability and the entire year of supplies. Now, this 3,000 rupees, people say is expensive. Now, mind you, if you go to any of the multiplex for a movie, two people will cost 3,000 rupees. And I'm talking about the entire year of supplies. So, unless and until we at the urban areas start adopting it, the prices will never go down. So we have to. So the urban or the educated masses or the 11% of the India population who are on Instagram, on social media, and if they can, can spend on beauty products, on makeups, and that cost around say 2,000 rupees for one product, 3,000 rupees for the entire year. I think we have to break this. Because you said it's expensive. It's not at all expensive when you see what it gives you. But the notion is that यार sanitary napkin है waste है वो तो expensive है. I think that we need to change, and I want to use this platform and say that period care products are very very affordable compared to a lot of things which we consume on a daily basis.
Right. It's also, as you said, the more there is consumption, the prices also kind of come down. And it's good because then the global players, some of the products, I would say, I personally felt, are inching towards, levels that we've not seen. Not yours, definitely. So just that's a disclaimer. Not P safe products. I know you all are very rationally priced, if I can put that. So good, we're talking about the market. Globally as well, the personal hygiene market, the female personal hygiene market, has great potential. It's currently at about $32 billion. Dollars. It's likely to touch about $70 billion or so. Do you see that potential of this market in India as well?
No, absolutely. If you take the penetration which we have in India, the government says around close to 50% plus. We as a corporate startups, we say it's around 35 to 40. Out of 100 menstruator, only 35 are using a period care
Yeah.
product. According to my estimation and some data, we are less than $1 billion feminine hygiene market in India. It's somewhere close to around 7,500 crores, in which they have a duopoly of two major MNC brand, and then we have others, startups and new age brands and all. I think it's a huge opportunity with the brands like us as well as the MNCs, because we need them to guide us, because they have a huge reach, a lot of money, and they can. But if they can come into sustainability as well, that will be very useful. But having said that, I think in next 10 years we'll see that India will reach around 70 to 75% of penetration, and the market can be somewhere around $2.5 billion for sure.
Wow, that's very interesting what you mentioned also about the MNCs picking up the sustainability theme, because that is something I think in this sector it's a bit slow for
Yes,
them,
yes.
for the bigger players. Um, all right, coming to, why don't we also talk about men's personal hygiene, because we've spoken a lot about women, and I know you all have a lot of products. um, Men generally have not had to face the kind of taboos that women
Hmm.
have had to face, but they still do. There is still, at least in India, some kind of discomfort, right, when you're going to a pharmacy and you're asking for something else. What are your insights on that? Because this is something that we're not even talking about much, even in mainstream media.
You know, I think I'm really happy to see many new age brands coming and talking about men's health, men's sexual health, or for that matter, men's hygiene. Now, take PSEV as an example. We develop innovative products for women from puberty to menopause. That's what our age group looks like. From age 10 to late 40s or early 50s.
Hmm.
While we were one of the largest in female intimate washes, which is all natural female intimate washes, unlike other brand which are chemical based. So we have the habit of talking to our customers how we can bring in more innovation, more product for women. So while I think it was 3.5 years back, while we were talking to few of our consumers, they said we should have something for men as well,
Right.
and they helped us in developing a P-Safe men's intimate wash. Now, these are an alternate to soaps. The P-Safe men's intimate wash has a particular pH balance which you need for your intimate area. And if you use those products instead of a soap, it helps you remain hygienic. Uh, so, uh, so this is one. But what we have seen that many brands have coming out with the performance enhancer drugs or creams or something like that, which I am not party to it, and PSF will never go into it. Uh, but it's time that men should also take care of their personal hygiene. We all know that Indian men scratch a lot. So if they are using and maintaining their pH balance, that will really help them reduce. They have to be dry, have to be not moist. I think that will help.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things will come.
Are these conversations also awkward when it comes to having them with men as well?
Not anymore now.
Okay.
Every person I know in the Gen Zs and the millennial age group, they
Hmm.
are far more easy to talk about.
पहले difficult होता
Huh,
था.
well, I was growing up, yes, of course, but not anymore now.
Because let's talk about your personal journey. You and I are both from Calcutta. We're both from St. Xavier's, and this is a very interesting sector to pick to do business in, even hailing from a place like Calcutta. So tell us a bit about that, and also about the story behind Be Safe, because I know there is one.
No, absolutely. I know how wonderful to meet people from Calcutta. Growing up in Calcutta in say late 70s, early 80s, Calcutta is full of sports, arts, culture. I think growing up in a typical Marwari business family, I have learned about debits and credits on the breakfast table. Always seen my father starting his business and struggling. My sister, my elder sister Suman, and I think mid 80s, late 80s, she became India's first lingerie designer.
Wow.
उस समय लोग लिंगरी बोलते थे,
Yeah.
at that point of time. So I think those were the inspiration when when I turned 40, I started Be Safe, right? So those were the inspiration which I grew up with. But having said that, Calcutta has always been one city which was far ahead of its time in terms of the liberal thing, in terms of the women were, very, very advanced. Though, of course, Calcutta in the business sense is far, far backward. But I think that helped me in shaping what I am today. I think St. Xavier's really helped a lot. Starting at 6 o'clock, getting over at 9:40. So I'm still an maybe a 4:30 a.m. guy. I think that really helped in what I am today, and I'm super proud of always being a Calcutta boy.
Yeah.
Uh, Now about PSAFE, it was in 2013. Uh, I was, just started Safety Cart, one of my venture, and then on a road trip
Hmm.
along with Srijana, my wife, she got sick, and it was so severe that she got admitted into hospital and was diagnosed with UTI. While she was recovering, we asked doctors what are the few of the reason why UTI happens.
Hmm.
Couple of the reasons are not drinking enough water, holding on the pee, or
Oh,
using unsanitized washroom.
yeah.
समय I realized that the Sulabh Shauchalayas or the petrol pump are the public toilet only, but not. Even a five-star hotel, our
Yeah.
offices, our restaurants, even our home, where if you have a powder room and you have a house party, they are all a public washroom.
Yeah.
Then I Googled and I researched that at that point of time, 200 million women globally were suffering from UTI, and these were the reported cases. In India, 10 million alone, right? And I know that many people will pass on as an urine infection hai, theek ho jayega.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually gave me an inspiration that we should do something so that we can reduce the risk of UTI.
Yeah.
And she gave the name P Safe, which is an idiot-proof name,
Absolutely.
and a product name became a brand name for us, and the rest is history.
It's amazing because this is a it's a pet peeve of mine. UTI. As a woman, I mean, I think it's so easy to pick up a UTI, and I see it with my friends. I see it with my aging mother, and I we know that the UTI is not just a UTI. It can over time become serious as well, and yet very few people were doing this. Growing up or traveling, road trips, I wouldn't want to take because वो public loo
Yeah, yeah,
कैसे जाएं.
yeah.
I would rather pee on the side of the
Yeah.
road of the highway than go into a public loo, and that holds even today. If I'm not carrying the products, even 5 stars, I don't trust.
No, absolutely. Yeah, Indian style of बोलते हैं ना मल आसन में अगर if you are doing a pee, I think that's the best way because you're not touching it, your skin onto that stupid toilet seat, and yeah, I think and you rightly said five-star hotels or restaurants because they come and clean on the hour every hour, and within that hour there's so many people who goes. Everyone has a different way of an etiquette of using a toilet seat. It may look clean, but it's not sanitized. Even the sweeper or the workers there, they'll clean the bowl and do a pocha on the toilet seat from one cubicle to second to third to fourth. So the E. coli bacteria which rest on the toilet seat may lead you to UTI infection.
Wow. And I mean, I think all of us girls, when we are young enough, I think we all say that, do your squats.
Absolutely.
Because end of the day, you have to hold yourself up in the air and use the loo
But
if you don't
but
have.
that leads to a lot of complication in future because the human body is not meant to do pee while doing squat.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a huge gap. right? And this was, again, you started talking about it long before the younger startups and other brands have come in. So great to see. There's such great, tremendous movement. But you also have other businesses, right? So tell us a bit more about some of those businesses.
So in '97, I actually formed a company which was into material handling equipment and warehousing equipment, which was an extension of what my family business was, what my father was doing it. So I started into business very early in my first year. Because St. Xavier's 9:40 you get over, right? Do ghanta you can go and do some computer classes at that point of time. I'm talking
Or CA.
or CA. So maximum
Huh.
chartered accountant from Calcutta,
Huh,
right?
huh.
So I used to be in office by 1 o'clock in my first year, and I learned a lot. Did a collaboration with a few of the forklift material handling equipment manufacturers while I was in the college. And in '97, I realized that I have to think big. Calcutta was not the place for me where I don't see that it was growing that fast. So I formed this company and came to Delhi and started working with the Airport Authority of India in their export and import cargoes. So I was actually giving forklifts and material handling equipments for them on rental. So this is how I came to Delhi. Uh, and then in 2002, I tied up with an American company based out of Dallas, Texas, for conditional based monitoring systems. Still, if I talk about this conditional based monitoring system, people don't understand. I'm talking about 24 years back.
Wow.
I was so ahead of my time.
What is it? Please explain to
So
us also.
it's sensors, mechanical and electronic sensors, which if you paste it or install it on a product which is being moved from point A to B, it will let you know the concealed damages. Now imagine a handle with cares in a sticker or a cup or keep upright stickers. Now those are very passive indicators. Now we have active indicators that if there is an impact over a particular degree of acceleration, that indicator will turn into from clear to red. So it will let you know there's a possibility that the product inside may or may not get damaged. It
This
was
is used in transportation, trucking, logistics.
any product which move from point A to point B, which are expensive, which are sensitive, and you want to minimize the risk of damages. So that's one angle. Then again, we majorly into aerospace and defense. So because these are equipment which are very expensive, and you can't afford to let these product get damages because your entire project gets delayed.
Absolutely.
So we have been working with Indian Space Research Organization, Indian Air Force, Army, Navy, big electronic manufacturers. A lot of classified informations we have as well. So I'm very proud of what we did there. Now it's a completely professionally managed team. I hardly go there. My 100% time is into PSAFE. Uh, uh, so PSAFE was built in 2013 as a product was got discovered first in the world, and then 2017 we formed this company called Redcliffe Hygiene, which and so last 7.5 years only building PSAFE.
And you have some amazing investors on your cap table. We were having an offline chat. So tell us a bit about what value do they bring or have they helped you with so
You
far?
know, every startup, every entrepreneur, they not only need capital, but they need intellect capital. I think while you build any organization, you need someone who can be your sounding board, who can say on your face that, hey, you are doing wrong, but give that explanation that why you are doing wrong. I think I'm super proud to have people like Alka Goyal from Alchemy, who's our largest investor. When nobody believed in us, she was our first professional VC, invested in 2019. Dheeraj Jain, who believed in me and we formed a company, a very dear friend. Venture Catalyst, which is a collection of angels investors. Netco Pharma, which came in last year, which is a listed company, very renowned and celebrated pharma company out of India. And of course, Zeroda Technologies, Nitin Kamath. I think apart from that, we have many other individuals who believed, my friends and family, who believed in me and believed in the purpose rather than the mission, the vision I have. I think the purpose was to bring an innovative product for women from puberty to menopause. I think that's the only way we are growing. Without them, I think I would not have reached where I have.
And what do we see next for Be Safe? I mean, you have done your pre-series B last year, as we were discussing. Do we have another round coming up? What kind of timelines have you set?
Yes, we are talking to a few peoples for our Series B round. I think it will happen in another couple of months. So the idea is to grow PSAFE from here on, deep into distribution. At this moment, we are present in say 100 cities or maybe 25,000 stores in 22 countries. But that's not a universe. So to give you an example, if we are in Delhi, we
Hmm.
may be in 4,000 stores.
Right.
But the universe for us may be around 20,000 stores out of, say, possible 100,000 stores in Delhi, right? So my consumers or my target audience shop from that 20,000 stores. So I want to go deep into, say, Delhi from 5,000 to 10, 10 to 15.
Right.
So similarly in other cities as well.
What's your current numbers, you said?
So we are doing upwards of 100 crores now as an ARR every year now.
Okay. And what kind of targets are you setting for yourself?
So we definitely want to have around 25 to 40% year on year growth
Okay.
because that's what better than the industry average because we are in a very very difficult industry. We are in a
It.
very small category,
Hmm.
but the way other people have come in this category, they are actually helping us widen the pie or the growing the pie.
Right.
So I think that's and there's a room for everyone. So I always say to people who come and get into this industry, I never look at them as a competition. I
Hmm.
say that let's collaborate and let's grow the market, and then everyone can play.
Yeah. So do you have exports happening as well, overseas markets? Which ones do you operate in?
Yeah, so we export to around 22 countries now, and we divide our exports into two different categories. One is the matured market or the developed economy.
Right.
So the likes of North America, Europe, UK, Australia, we sell through online through Amazon. I want to share this. 2020 January, Amazon conducted an event called Sambhav 2020,
Right.
where Jeff Bezos himself was present,
Right.
and at that point of time, PSafe got an award in front of him as the best SMB brand of the year.
Hmm.
And because of that, and then COVID happened, and once everything got opened up, so Amazon took us global to North America, Europe, and UK,
Wow.
and we started selling online there. So that's for our developed economy. And developing countries like the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, of course, is one of our largest market. African countries, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, or the SARC countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives. So in these countries, we sell through distributors.
Right.
So overseas with 22 countries, I think we are present in close to 3,000 stores, physical stores as well, and Indian made product available at that point of.
And what percentage of your revenues are from overseas, and how do you see that growing?
So it's close to around 8 to 10% as of now as we speak, and we
Hmm.
see that this percentage growing around 50% year on year.
Wow.
We have not invested in marketing, so I think this fundraise will help us to spend more on marketing and to grow made in India products. And of course, we are also playing on the strategy of China plus one,
Hmm.
where many people don't want a Chinese product and they're looking at India as a manufacturer so yeah, I think we are right there.
Wow. That's very exciting. A lot of new things going to happen at the Be Safe team, I guess. A lot of things that will happen. But, before we kind of come towards the end of our discussion, what kind of personal biases would you have faced? A man talking about personal hygiene, female personal hygiene. I know you've spoken about this earlier. You did touch upon that. You come from a Marwari family, so they're generally known to be conservative. But having said that, a man doing business in this segment, what has your personal journey been like?
As I told you earlier, that coming from a middle class Marwari business family, uh, we never spoke about periods between siblings. But as my elder sister, she was a lingerie designer. She was very very vocal about it. But again, I was not. Always वो डरते थे शर्म आती थी बात नहीं करते थे. But I think when I was 40, well settled in life and didn't have any challenge. And when Srina suffered from UTI, then I thought of developing a product, giving my experience of being an entrepreneur for last 18 years. So that gave me that confidence कि यार अब तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, अब कौन क्या बोलेगा, शर्म नहीं है. I think this is how I started. But initially, when I started P Safe, there are many challenges I had. First was the name itself. जिससे भी बात करता हूँ वो they used to say, why P? Why you want to keep a brand name called P Safe? Because if I'm carrying this product, people will know that I'm going to pee, right? I don't want them to know that I'm going to pee. Uh, so this is one. Secondly, I think this was very, very initial stage in 2013, 14, 15, uh, when the women who were talking about feminine hygiene or menstruation, there was not a single man at that point of time.
Right.
Uh, so when I wanted to be a part of it, I was never welcomed there with them. I was never called for any kind of conferences, seminars. They never used to even hear what I want to say. So that was the challenging part I had to break that. And you can put like this, that similarly how a woman goes into a men's world, right? It was the other way around for me. I was going into a women's world and being a man. I think I realized at that point of time that how difficult it is for a woman to step in an all men's world.
Because I'm sure women would have been a little nicer than, say, all men would have been. So I hope they were nicer to you when you.
Initially, they think why a man want to talk about menstruation. Uska kya hidden agenda hai. He doesn't know anything about menstruation. He's not a menstruator, right? But I was a product guy, right? I can feel what my wife was going through. I can feel. I started to feel. For 40 years I didn't know about it, but I used to talk to a lot of people. So there was a one gynecologist friend of mine. I used to sit with her for hours and hours and hours to listen to how she was treating her patients, what type of queries coming in. So I really did a lot of research and whatever I can. And of course, then when I build up my team, I think I'm super proud of my the Gen Zs which I work with, and they have made what PSAFE is today.
This is also one of the reasons why I really wanted you on What India Needs is because A, you're a man, you were talking about it a long time ago, and it's always interesting to see what perspective you bring because we as women do know what the woman's perspective on this will be. So it's I'm again thanks for joining us and a couple of questions to young entrepreneurs because you famously say that don't chase funding, look for the exits, chase the exits. So tell us a bit about what that thinking is and some tips for young entrepreneurs who are trying to make it in any sector, especially if it's in the hygiene, personal hygiene, or wellness.
Sure. See, funding is important for any businesses, but what is happening in India is all these young entrepreneurs, or they just want into, or the first time entrepreneurs, they look at the brighter side of the glamour world, which that okay, XYZ has raised so much of funding, now he's buying XYZ homes and cars and other stuff. So they get attracted by it, but they don't understand that it takes a lot of time. So I have seen many young boys and girls coming up to people like me and say, I have an idea, I want to raise funding. So when I say these words, I meant that don't start anything just to raise funding, right? Don't do anything just to raise funding. Create a product which is useful. Don't copy. See, PSAFE is a product which was never copied. It is an original, but they have so many Me Too product as well. Then you will be competing with a lot of people. I know it's not difficult, but you need a lot of time. So again, when you raise funding, is the most expensive debt.
Hmm.
You are now the custodian of your investors' money, right? You haven't given anything as collateral to take that money and do business. So it's your responsibility to make a good return for them and return the money. So that's a debt for you. A founder and an entrepreneur only makes money when there is an exit, right? Because if you raise money, you have a lock-in. You can't, sell your shares. You just can't do it before your investor gets money. So celebration only when you exit and when you get money. So I always tell people that बहुत अच्छे से दिखता है कि यार उसने ये किया उसने वो किया, बट उसके पीछे बहुत टाइम जाती है. So investment is necessary, money is necessary, but raise when you really need it, or make your customer your biggest investor. If you have sales, right? I think, and if you have profitability, I think money will come automatically. And only celebrate when you make money yourself.
Make your customer your biggest investor. I think that's amazing, what you said, because I think all of us who are in business, especially bootstrap businesses, need to keep that in mind, because end of the day, if we look at strong business models, not everybody started off with funding. They built something which could sustain and then flew with the funding, you
Absolutely.
know. Um, the other thing is, we all talk about successes. Tell us about a low point or a failure, something that happened which you would deem as a failure, and how you overcame that.
No, I have been repeating this again and again. I don't know for how many times I have repeated. There are two incidents which happened in my life, which made me what I am today. One was when I had this joint venture with an American company in 2002, very early of its time, right? And I started going and meeting. It was a B2B business. Uh, Showcasing my product, that how I can help you reduce the damages which you are facing in transit or in storage. But the product was expensive. 6 months gone by, not a single invoice. 10 months, not a single invoice. I was just going around meeting people, making giving demonstration, investing my time. Of course, it wasn't that product, और वहाँ पर उस समय Google Meta ऐसा भी नहीं था कि you burn money on that. Is what your own time and travel. My dad started telling me from Calcutta, boss, you're wasting your time. You should not invest in the new business. You already have a material handling equipment business. You are not looking into it. You should invest time. But when I was looking around the world was growing, the damage rate was growing. So I thought that India will be ready for that.
Hmm.
So I kept on going. 15 months passed, not a single invoice. Uh, uh, Many a times I thought of quitting, but I was the guy who always turn up every day. So there was one company I used to go Wednesday 10 o'clock and meet that purchase manager every Wednesday for 6 months. अब जो 7th month में जब मैं वहाँ गया नहीं तो उसका फोन आ गया कि are you okay or not.
Wow.
So he gave me business after 2 years, because that company was ready after 2 years to accept my product. So coming back to this 15 months, friends and family started telling me you are just wasting your time. Then Srijna again, always been my backbone. She said, let's follow a stop loss rule, which we follow in a stock market. So, let's follow that stop loss rule for our life. Let's give another 3 months. If we are unable to crack our first invoice, first sales, I think we are in the wrong business. So that 90 days, I gave my best again. Went to each and every potential customers I was visiting for last 18 months or 15 months, and I got my first order in 18th month. That was ₹1,000 order in Pondicherry, and the product needs to be delivered by hand. So I traveled by Rajdhani to Chennai, then by road to Pondicherry, delivered it, flew back.
Yourself.
I sell because I was only trained to deliver that product. It was so delicate. For that ₹1,000 order, I incurred close to ₹9,000 as the delivery charges. But that was an order which came after 18th month.
Wow.
And as soon as I came back to Delhi, the same order came back again. I did the journey twice. That made me that if you have started something, to take it to finish. Never leave in between. Have a stop loss in your life. If you have started something, you know that where you need to stop. So this was one incident, and what PSAFE made, what SRV, my defense business, is because of that 18th month of hardship. And the second was in 2016. See, we started PSAFE product in 2013. 3 months, 3 years, I was just trying to build and to check or to test the market. But I was so disheartened because I didn't know how to raise money. I've always been a small investor. I didn't know how to do a presentation, PPT, Excel sheets. I still don't know how to do that. I have a business acumen, but I may not be technically sound on making graphs or spreadsheet. So मुझे नहीं आता था कुछ करना. मैं बहुत लोगों के पास जाता था. No, you don't know how to present it. You don't know what to ask for it. You don't have a big vision, or you don't see the big picture. That was the you know I used to get replies from people. So मैं ना बहुत थक चुका था 2016 में, and I wanted to sell PSafe as a brand. It wasn't under Redcliffe at that point of time. I thought, 100,000 units I have already sold. People are using 50% repeat buying. Gynecologists are prescribing it. And that time I had only one product, toilet seat sanitizer spray. Uh, People said you won't, even few people said that you won't even get 50 lakh of rupees. And I was wanting 5 crores at that point of time. So the day I came back and asked Srijna, can we sell this for 50 lakhs of rupees? They said, you don't need money. You have your other business going on. Our life is okay. We don't have any liability. So Srijna and I, we don't have any kids. So we don't have any liabilities in life. We are happy what we are earning. So let's not sell it, right? You have made it buy love, for love. Just keep it there. And I think that was the second most important decision of my life. And then I met Dheeraj in 2017, and he came on board as 50% partner. We formed a company, gave away 50% of my business to him, and he helped me in shaping PSafe, in getting the purpose for PSafe. And here we are.
Wow. I mean, I'm so glad you didn't sell it off because look what's happening now. I mean, that's so great. Um, this is not something we've discussed, but because you brought it up, and I find it quite interesting. Not having children, it's a conscious decision. You're very happy because we do see that as a growing phenomenon. Is this something you mind talking about?
I know, absolutely. I think whatever I do, me as a couple as well, Srina and I, we have always been ahead of our time.
Yeah.
Now you see that a lot of people are taking the decision not to have kids. I think while we were dating and while we were struggling very early in dating, we thought, yes, we'll think about it.
सोचेंगे.
सोचेंगे, but after marriage, we got married in 97 and moved to Delhi in 98, 99.
She's also from Calcutta.
Yes, born and brought up in Calcutta. I met her there as well. So from 2000 to 2005, which was like within 3 to 7 years of our marriage, we were like 30 years old at that, maybe 32. Uh, we were struggling so much that said we don't want to have someone in our life who we can't give a better life. It's better not to have it. I've been talked. I was talking about this many a times, and we are super proud of that decisions because both of us invested in each other, and we made our life easy. And then I think all my businesses are like my child, like my children. I think PSafe, I have around 100 plus people who are in the age group of 24, 25. I think they are my children. I don't need to look for someone else.
Absolutely. I so believe the reason I found it very interesting is because it's also a thought which is, I'm more and more believing myself because I think the world, my reasoning is that the world is a horrible place. There are wars, there's air pollution, there's too much happening, and why bring another progeny? Rather, there are so many kids who are orphans, who need parents, I mean, if you need to, there's always that.
But Subhai, this is a very individual choice, right? This is a because agar everyone start taking this, the world will stop.
हाँ, हम जापान या चाइना हो जाएंगे. China's now got a problem after they had the one child policy. I mean, now they are in a.
We stick to our decision, and I think, and I'm not giving anyone this advice, guys, that you should not have kids. You should have kids. It's that it didn't work for us. We never wanted it.
The message of this podcast is not to have kids. Please do whatever you want. But Vikas and I both think that it's okay not to have kids.
Absolutely, it's my personal view.
So, last question. I heard that you have a lot of hobbies as well. You like adventure sports, you do wildlife photography, a whole lot of other things. How do you balance your life? आपको 70 hour weeks नहीं करने?
नहीं मैं तो करता हूँ आई वर्क 24/7 because I know that there's a lot of debate going on how many hours you need, but I think as an entrepreneur you are working 24/7.
Yeah.
It's just that you have to prioritize आपको क्या करना है कब क्या करना है because I start very early in my life in my day. You know, I get up at 4:30. I think thanks to St. Xavier's College
Yeah.
discipline, I finish up everything by 6:37. My entire emails or replies and other stuff. Uh, uh, as an entrepreneur at this stage of my life, I'm not working very actively on the day-to-day operations because I have amazing team, young managers who are taking care of it. So I'm more into strategic, more into relationship building. So that's what I do. Coming back to my hobbies and all, I always take it a point. और मैं वैसा हूँ यार मुझे शाम के काम नहीं होती. After 5 o'clock my battery goes down. So
अच्छा,
I want to.
आप उठते भी हो 4 बजे और 4 a.m. club. You're one of the people who are in the 4 a.m. club. Of course, your battery should be down by 4:35.
And I think my hobbies of say long distance cycling, photography, off-roading, now very recently, I've got hooked to pickleball. I've been playing like 5 days in a week now. So I think it's just that my way of staying young, my way of interacting with young people, and to learn from them. I think and sports actually make me calm
Yeah.
because when you play sports, you actually, competition or a competitiveness, you definitely, unless and until you are calm, you won't give your best. I think that is why I'm into sports.
But the 70-hour week is good for entrepreneurs, but maybe for the team, work-life balance
See,
is
it's
good.
all depend upon what's your priorities are, right? 70 घंटे हो 60 घंटे हो 48 hours हो, it's all depend how good you are, how smart you are. I believe now if I put 4 hours in a day is enough for me
Yeah.
because I have created that system.
Yeah.
But while you were young, right, I think while I was growing up, I need to learn, I need to feed, I need to take care of my health. I have to go and meet so many people. So I think उस समय 70 घंटे बहुत कम लगते थे, right? So it's all the 70 hours and the debate going around it. It's all where you are in your life.
True.
Are you alone doing hundreds of things, or you have a team? So if you have a team, give them, you empower them, and let them do make mistakes, right? And give them the right advices. Then you don't need the 70 hours, right?
Yeah.
So it's all depend upon where you are in your journey of life.
Absolutely. I think that's so well put because there is a lot of debate, but it is also very subjective, and it's where you are in your personal growth, ambitions, because we do see a lot of ambitious people working voluntarily that long, right? Because they want to achieve certain things, but never should it come at the cost of health. Vikas, thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for your time, and thanks for coming on What
Thanks
India
for having
Needs.
me. I think you had some great questions. I really wish you all the best for your podcast.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you
much.
so much.
Great to have you. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, leave them below. Thank you. See you next time.